Hello, and welcome to the Sweaty Casuals podcast. We have Zion with us today. Rejoice.
Oh, yay.
The podcast is a little bit late as he was dead yesterday. So we decided to give him a chance to speak his mind because we have topics to talk about this week, which is crazy. We are back and, yeah, we do. I mean, some of us do. Anyway, as per usual, the usual suspects. We have Koshi. Say hello. Good job, Koshi. Right on the fucking ball there. Funky, say hello.
Hello.
Hello there.
I hate you with a burning passion.
What did I do?
Not you.
Yeah, I know.
And we also have Zion. Yay. Yay,
But
Zion.
I introduced him again.
Let's just jump right into it because we have got topics to talk about this week, and it is
who are you?
primarily. Shut up. And it is primarily Remnant 2, which just got released.
Indeed.
And two of us here have played it. Not me and not Koshi. So yeah, start us off, boys. Funky and Zion. You can choose whoever the hell's going first. I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this without spoilers because I do eventually want to play it.
Do you want to start or shall I start, Zion?
You go.
All right.
You've played like three
shoot
times
that
as much as me. So
Let's see. That's a good question. Let's see. I'm definitely not playing it as we speak. I've only played 33.8 hours
What the fuck?
of it. But so yeah, obviously if it sucks because I only have 33. No, it's a shortened version. It's an improvement upon the last one. Everything for the most part is better. Story's a bit weaker, but you don't really play it for the story, so who gives a shit? But overall, good improvement.
Yeah, you're kind of right actually, because the first Remnant was pretty decent, and I can't remember any of the story, which shows it's about as engaging as it was.
You know.
yeah, it's just it gets you where you need to be. Like it's one of those stories where they put it in because it needs to be there. It's good enough to get you to the other worlds.
It's
and
just
fucking gameplay.
Yeah, we're really.
It's worse. Yeah, it's worse because a lot of the main story is worse because they're kind of they're doing the thing where you get a story beat at the end when you finish the world. But so you're like, oh hey, here's the story, and then now go do the story of this world, and you're playing that for however long it takes you, and then suddenly it's back to the main story. So that's why it kind of feels a bit weaker. But you know, and I'm at the final boss, but haven't beaten it yet because my build isn't great for it, so I kind of gotta upgrade some other weapons for it because mine is shotgun and Uzi, and the final boss is, and I'm running around with as a challenger, which is the melee build, and my side thing is the handler, so I have a dog with me, and you know that all is really great for an enemy that is constantly moving away from you. So I gotta invest in some range. Yeah. So I'm no, I'm chasing it, but it's just constantly just like, and then when it does show up, it's like to do a big ass melee attack on you, and you gotta dodge it, and then it's gone again. So I just gotta invest in some more precise ranged weapons. But overall, I'm really having fun with it. I've played a little bit of online just to check it out because I assumed we were gonna be talking about it, so that was a really that worked flawlessly for the one that I tried.
Cool.
So the bosses are for the most part really fun. There's somewhere but I think it just depends on the build. The armor being gone is both nice, and I kind of still wish you could to a certain extent upgrade your armor a little bit, and technically, quote unquote, you can because there's other systems for it. I just feel like the actual armor with the stats would have been nice if I got some in there while I'm fighting a boss right now. But overall,
So why
definitely
hold on, why did they remove the armor?
because you're having classes now, and that way you can just play fashion and do all of that without having to be like, oh well, I want to do this, but I'm stuck to this armor. You can just go off. Oh, this armor is good against let's say toxic. So you do that, and then you go to another armor where it's good against or it has high armor, and the other one is lower armor. But it's not like, oh hey, to use these, because in the old game, if you wanted like special bonuses for it and stuff, you had to use that armor. But it could have been like, oh, I really like this bonus of doing more damage, but that's tied to a light armor thingy, and I'm using heavy armor, so this armor is useless to me. That kind of thing that they change it from. So that's nice because you now have like weapon slots. Well, mods for your I think it's for your hearts and everything, and you have stuff. You have different hearts and stuff like. So there's different ways where you can kind of either become more tanky or uh become have more bonuses and all of that. So that's nice. It's just I still like seeing a number go up when it comes to armor, but
Yeah,
that's a minor gripe.
fair enough.
And overall, I think it's a. I'm digging most of the artwork and everything. It's ran perfectly fine. Didn't have any issues so far, so that's great as well. And yeah, without giving too many spoilers away, I'm having a blast. And oh, I've said this. I didn't say it on the podcast, but I'll say it anyway. With the gunslinger, with it being locked behind to start with, it being locked behind
The pre-order thing.
whatever the most expensive one is.
Yeah.
Uh, that is only to start with, so you can just unlock it throughout the game and like relatively soonish, I would say, before halfway through the campaign, you would have it unlocked no matter what you roll. So
Yeah, so you're
that's
not.
good. You just gotta know what to do.
Yeah, it's not a. It's
Yeah,
it's
it's
not a.
not
It's
limited
not
to
completely locked off from you, and it seems to be
yeah,
just a time skip. It's a bit of a time saver.
yeah,
That's all. Yeah.
yeah. You can start with it instead of having to unlock it through playing the game, which
Yeah, yeah,
is,
yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
not too bad.
as far as like pre-order incentives go, I can kind
Yeah,
of live with that one.
yeah, yeah. Because there's other archetypes. Because as far as I'm aware, there's 10, and I've got 9 of them. Well, I have 8 of them unlocked. I don't have the materials to finish the ninth one, and then I know how to get the 10th one, and I know I'm gonna get set 10th one, so that's all fine.
Yeah.
And it gives you a reason to replay because it's mostly all about replaying it and everything like that. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I like it. Anyway, that's my relatively longer take on it for now.
Zion, what was
Definitely
your
worth it.
so how much have you played of it, Zion?
I have beat the first. I beat 1.5 worlds,
Okay.
which Funky will understand, but I don't.
Yeah,
That cover spoilers.
How many hours have you put in so far?
Just over 12.
Okay, okay.
I haven't. I know there's a boss on the first world that I haven't done, but I've literally just scoured the map, and I think it's just not available in my run through
yeah, it could be.
of the campaign, at least.
Oh.
But yeah, so it's fun. It's more of the first game, basically. We all enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
yeah, I feel like they had a good solid formula going with the first game. They just needed to make the tweaks and improvements, like to make it the better game. I don't think they really needed to do anything that was groundbreaking out of the box kind of thing. They just need to stick to what they clearly had a winner on their hands, and just make improvements. So as long as they've done that, I can see it being a success.
Yeah, and it's less buggy than the one before. There's one thing that they do that annoys me a little bit, but it's like a super small thing where if you're in the world hub where you get your upgrades and everything like that, if the NPCs are working on something and you want to talk to them, you gotta wait for them to come out of that animation and be ready to talk to you, and it's kind of like, whatever. Yeah, that's
it's
somewhat annoying, but it is what it is.
It's one of the things I've seen as like one of the two downsides I've seen people complain about. One of them I kind of agree with, other one not so much. The main one is skills trait points are limited this time around, whereas in the first one you could just grind them enough so
are
you
they
could
limited?
max out every time. Yeah. So yeah, the trait points in the first game you could just keep grinding, keep leveling up.
Yeah.
You could get every talent to max level. In this one, you can. In this one, you get your trait points by finding the books or beating certain bosses for the first time. And there is a limit of 85 in total, including the 20 for your what do we call them?
Your archetypes.
Yeah, archetypes. Which those you can't redistribute because they're attached to your archetype. So you've got
it's a bit of a bummer,
yeah. Which I don't like, and a fair few people don't like. Of just that was one of the things people liked grinding was more trait points.
I get that, but I kind of do see why they would want to go that route because they're clearly wanting to focus on this whole this class or the archetype thing. So I guess what they were hoping for is that players would like try and focus more on and theory craft their build and what they were wanting to get out of like their run, and then that also creates like a more incentive to do replay through on different archetypes and different builds and maybe experiment in the future rather than just like grind it all on one.
Is enough, but
what I've seen is the talent that you get from your archetype. Once you hit level 10, if you switch archetype, you keep it, but it just goes back to level 0. You can level it up. But one of the suggestions I've seen is it levels up normally, but if it's your prime perk, it's the one for your archetype, it's 2 or 3 times more effective. So you get your 3 talent points in it from leveling up, but it's more powerful than if someone who's a different class takes it, rather than it just being the same. That would work around like what you were saying, Gavin. Which I could see it being like, make it a slightly more potent if it's your main one because that's what you're focused on. But that's like
I would say keep the rest half. Like all of the archetypes ones, just give me half of it guaranteed. And then if I really, really want to invest in it, I'll invest some points in it, but just give me 50% of it just for leveling up the entire archetype. Going through that effort.
Yeah, so you keep 5 points invested.
And then if you really want it, you put in the other 5.
One thing that I've seen other people complain about, which is completely insane, is everyone saying, "Oh, it plays like the first one," and it's like, well, yeah, it's a sequel. One, like the two arguments against that is, one, this is a sequel. If I played Remnant 1 and enjoyed it, and then I played Remnant 2 and it plays like Dead Space, I'm going to be annoyed. What sort of lunatic wants it to play like a different game? But like also the devs for the entire development of Remnant 2 have said we're going to try and keep the gameplay as close to 1 as possible. We're going to do improvements, but we want it to feel the same as 1 because people enjoyed it.
Yeah, which is exactly.
So it's not like the devs have said, "Oh, we're going to make massive changes," and people have expected that.
Yeah.
And the amount of like posts that I think I've seen at least a dozen like forum posts saying, "I didn't really enjoy the first one. Should I buy the second one?" No,
No.
Well, yeah.
that
No, you
holds
should
up for
not.
pretty much any franchise,
Yeah.
really. You know,
Yeah,
if
most
I
of
didn't
them, yeah.
enjoy the first one, why the fuck would you want to buy the sequel? A, you're not going to know the story, and B, it's probably going to play the same.
I get if the idea was like I didn't enjoy the first one because of X, Y, and Z.
Yeah,
is
mechanics, but...
X, Y, and Z fixed in the second one? Then fair enough. But if it's like, yeah, I didn't like the core gameplay of the first one, will I like the second one? No, you probably will not.
Yeah.
The only franchise that's sprung to mind where that might be different would be Final Fantasy, but even then, it's just even the kind of similar at least. Yeah.
Or the latest Yakuza one where they changed the into a turn-based system. That's one where I'm like, yeah, okay, fair enough. But that is also clearly stated that they were making a different style of combat game. So
Yeah, there's like very few exceptions where they go out of their way to change systems, but even then, it's rough. It's not like it's a completely different genre or anything half the time.
Yeah. Just different combat systems at times. Yeah, that is a stupid thing. I feel like that's just complaining.
Yeah,
this looks really cool and I want to play it, but it's not my type of game.
It's not even,
it is what it is. If everyone made games that one person would like, I would probably hate most of the games out there because it would probably either be FIFA or Call of Duty. So I'm very happy that it isn't.
We already have franchises that do that.
Yeah, exactly.
You've played one FIFA, you've played them all.
I've been playing. I've been playing the handler archetype, which is the dog one where you get a pet.
Oh yeah,
it's quite handy for surviving once you get the healing dog.
Yeah, that's the one I'm petting right now. I do wish, and maybe I haven't noticed it, but it would have been nice if, like, depending on which of the three you pick, you get like a little bit of a difference in the outfit from the doggy itself.
Oh yeah. So
like a different color bandana or something like that, or like if you pick the medic, it has like some bandages on the side or stuff like that. Like I said, would have been nice, but it doesn't really affect the game.
Yeah, it's not a game breaker. It just would have been a nice little flair.
Nice little touch. Yeah.
I mean, the modders might end up doing something like that. You never know.
Yeah.
I did manage to find a synergy for it pretty early on as well. That I've been using ever since. I found a ring that whenever you receive healing gives you haste.
Oh yeah.
The dog just gives you passive healing when it's sat next to you. So
isn't that the one you buy from
Is it one of the ones you buy? I can't remember if it's
I think it's a $3,000 one or something like that.
It might have been. And I saw that, I was like, that'd go really well with this dog. That gives me permanent healing effects. So
I've been investing.
It's great in those type of games where you come across something like that. Like it'll give like you'll randomly come across an item that says it gives X to whatever this effect is, and then you're sitting there thinking, well, this is applied to me constantly, so therefore I am mega OP now. It's always a cool feeling to get this, like that one item that just completely fucking like complements your build perfectly. It's like, oh, nice. I'll be keeping this.
It's not even like it's massively overpowered or anything either, because it's like it's a 7% increase of all my actions. So I run slightly faster, but most importantly, I dodge 7% faster. So that's pretty much what it is. And because it lasts 10 seconds, even if my dog dies, by the time the dog comes back, I've still got the buff.
Yeah.
All my other rings are mod power because I got the one of the the minion summon ones that just drops bugs on the floor from the hatchery.
Yeah. I think
I got that one.
Ew.
Is it 2? Is it space crawly thingies or something like that?
Yeah.
I have that one as well.
Space crabs.
Space crabs. That's it. I have a. Which one is?
I've been going taking up the power in the mods because I plan on going like sort of the summoner build.
So I've just unlocked the summoner build. Make sure if you, I don't know if Oh, you probably don't have it yet. But if you do unlock it, make sure to also, because you can get extra items from it. This is a minor spoiler, but it's not that important. Because it's you unlock it through something, and you gain you have access to the armor and everything as well. Make sure to pick up the amulet that is called Soul Anchor, because Soul Anchor, let's see, summoning increases all damage dealt by 20% for 30 seconds. Which is like, yes, please. I'll take that one. There's some other ones that are nice as well. I got to look at my rings and everything, kind of start doing it, but most of mine are just still functional, at least. Just might change up my amulets and everything like that. Yeah, the one that I'm really happy that I this is also from the second world. I found like an area, and it's pretty cool, and you got to do something. I'm not gonna say what. But if you do it, you gain the trait Siphoner, which is I just maxed it out, and I have +3 lifesteal at level 10. So every damage that I do is just like, hey, X amount of health to me, thank you, which is nice for the melee class, of course. And I've got a really nice staff for it as well. Where let me see, what's this? I won't name the staff, but after dealing 500 damage, the next charge attack costs is a something to stampede forward, dealing 320 damage to enemies and regenerating 10% health to allies. But this is more. I've been. It's a fun. I like the staff weapons in this, and it's kind of like because I'm building towards co-op already, or at least not necessarily just with us, but just in general joining people online and everything. So I'm kind of building towards that, and I saw this weapon. I was like, yes, this is perfect. Just like good damage straight ahead. Just go for it. The only downside is it gets blocked by like if there's like rocks in front of it, like a little bit of it blocks it. But whatever, it's like extra healing. Yes, please.
It does seem this one has more healing options in it than the first one. The first one,
definitely.
One healing. You had one healing skill, I think, and then a bit of lifesteal and regen. The lifesteal and regen talents are still here. I don't think they're as powerful. I don't think.
No.
But you've got a couple of healing skills. You can start with.
You've got an entire class.
Yeah, you've got the entire class. You've got our archetype of a handler, which isn't a healer, but we have the dog that can heal.
Sometimes if you make it your main perk, isn't it reses you as well?
Yeah. It can res me or an ally once every 100 and something seconds.
Yeah, because I've been using it as the side one. I haven't actually mained it yet. What I like about the archetype system as well and the dual classing is if I've got challenger at 10, then if I have usually it's 50-50 for each class from whatever XP you get. But as soon as one is maxed out, the other one gets 100%. It's not like, oh, no, it still keeps getting only 50%. It's like, no, everything goes to the second class now, which is really nice.
You say you've got it in the second slot?
Yeah, I've got handler in the second slot.
Yeah. So if I remember rightly, you won't get revived by your dog.
No, I won't.
Yeah, because the way it works is the prime perk for the thing only works on your prime archetype. You don't get it from your secondary, and that's getting resurrected or being able to resurrect an ally with your dog is That is one quality of life thing I have seen for the handler is when you ping, because that's what sends your dog to revive them. Enemies take priority on the ping system. So if someone's wailing on them and you ping, your dog will go attack the enemy instead of trying to revive your ally.
Yeah, that's nice. I didn't know that, but that is nice.
It's just a thing of people have asked, can you change priority, and whether they do or not.
Yeah, I think it would be No, never mind. I was gonna say it would be kind of cool if you could hold it down and everything, but I think that brings up other effects into place because a lot of them, for example, I'm using my prime archetype is engineer now, which is almost at level 3, and my second one is still the handler, and that's at level 8.5 ish, a bit over. But so a lot of it is you press either Q or C. If you hold it, something happens. Like if you with the healing dog, if you hold it and you're near it, it will release a boost heal where you kind of regenerate a lot of health in
Yeah,
a short amount of time.
when
And
this thing. So it
yeah,
hits if you're in the same room as your allies, it'll pretty much hit them.
yeah,
There's been very rare occasions where if I've been on the co-op and I've triggered it, that someone's not got it, but it reaches
yeah,
pretty much everyone in a boss room essentially, which is is when you're mostly going to be using it.
yeah. And if you double tap it, at least for the dog, it comes back to you. But for
Yeah.
example, for with the engineer, if I press Q, I put it down. If I hold Q, I I hold the turret in my hand. But if I already put the turret down and I hold Q, then I can, if I have my prime perk active, then I can overclock it, and so it goes and it shoots around and everything like that. But it has infinite ammo for a certain amount of time, which is nice, and it shoots faster. But then if I double tap it, I take back the turret. It vanishes with 75% of its ammo guaranteed back, and then you wait a little bit on the cooldown. But so that's why I was gonna say, like, oh yeah, it would be nice if you ping it and you could hold it, and then it tries to res the person. But yeah, that's tied to other stuff, so you can't really do that. But overall, yeah, I think I'm 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 digging the class system and everything like that.
I'm enjoying the game. Like I'm
Yeah,
just because I've been sick for the past week. I've not played it as
yeah,
much. I probably have like pretty much as much time as you have, but because I've been sick, I've not really been playing it.
yeah, yeah. I think
What do you mean? Being sick is the perfect time for games.
Not something like that. But I have had like a bunch of like 4 or 5 idle games running at once on one of
Yeah.
my monitors while I sit and watch YouTube
Jesus
on the other one.
Christ.
Yeah.
Just because I could
There
just
is
go click go
yeah,
on all of them and then just watch like an hour long video, then go click go again, and it's fine.
yeah. That's there's some other things that I think would be kind of nice. You kind of figure it out by yourself, but there's certain puzzles in the game, and some you can just, either you go through the level and you come back and you can find it. But there's certain other ones where you have to have certain items, and if that didn't drop in your world, it would be kind of nice if you hold it and you've cleared the entire zone. Well, I guess the entire world in this case. And it's like, yeah, no, that you would just know, like, oh no, this didn't drop. So you would have to re-roll it if you want to do this, or try it somewhere else. Because sometimes it's like, oh, well, am I missing something? And did I? So you go through entire worlds again and trying to teleport and see if you missed an area that you didn't do yet. And so sometimes, because I have one with the clock tower, and it's just, yeah, I've gone through that entire world and I just don't have the item.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, well, I'm gonna have to go through adventure mode, or join people online and hope I can get it through that way, or re-roll the entire campaign. But I'm kind of like, well, I have the clock tower now, I want to fix the clock tower, so my only option is either joining people online or adventure mode, which is fine. It's just like, would have been, a little warning, like, hey, it's not available now. You've cleared everything here. It's not available. So, try adventure mode or joining people online, or
Yeah.
eventually re-rolling it. Just a little warning, a heads up, so you don't go spending an hour looking for something that isn't there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I also don't know how they would program that anyway. So, It's more a nice idea versus how the fuck do you do it.
Yeah. So overall, Remnant 2, people are liking it. Seems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would recommend.
It's better than the first. It's not quite. It's now. It's a good to. It's a. It's a almost a great game. There's still some improvements that could be made, but it's like right on the edge of nailing it. I think by the third one, they've perfected, or at least they've mastered the formula and can kind of start doing new stuff. Kind of the same thing with Dark Souls, where it's like, oh, you had Demon Souls, then Dark Souls was an improvement, then Bloodborne technically, but that was kind of its own thing. So I'm half counting that one. Then you had Dark Souls 2, and by Dark Souls 3, it's like, yeah, all right, this is exactly where we wanted. It feels tight and everything like that.
Yeah.
And now let's try something else, and then you got Sekiro and Elden Ring. I feel like
Which were
great
both
game,
huge
definitely.
success.
Yeah. I feel like the next one is unless they fuck it up, obviously. But assuming they keep doing what they're doing, I think like that's the one that's really gonna
Mhm.
make it widely known as like, no, this has become a must do now, because this one is obviously popular, and it's mostly hyped up by the people that really enjoyed the first one.
Yeah.
That's mainly what's driving it, because people really enjoyed the first one and
Yeah,
they're
it's
hyped to play
definitely
the second one.
it's definitely saved a bit on marketing funds because
Yeah,
it was kind of a niche game, the first
yeah,
one, but the player base that was there was definitely dedicated. So
yeah.
I'm glad that
I
this
think the best
second entry
way, yeah,
is seems to be also like grabbing in new players
yeah,
as well, because it does seem to be like quite popular at the moment.
yeah.
Way
I
more
think
popular
the
than the
best,
first one was.
yeah, I think the best way I can describe it is the first one was a really nice concept, and for the budget they had, they did
Yeah,
amazing stuff. This one feels like a really, really good double A game,
yeah.
and I feel like by the third time it could become a really, really good triple A game.
Hmm.
I guess is the best way. Is where I'm at. And now I'm gonna sip a little bit.
Agreed. Koshi,
Yo.
you haven't talked in a while. What have you been doing this week?
Not playing Remnant 2.
Really?
Hmm.
I have just been staying cool as possible, relaxing, getting some video gaming done, keeping my eyes out on things that interest me.
What video games? What have you been playing anything new this week?
No, no,
No?
I'm still playing Metal Gear Solid: The Phantom Pain again. Uh,
I thought you were close to being done with it.
no, no, no,
No?
no, 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 no.
You're
Okay.
never really done with it.
This is the second time now I've 100%ed it.
Jesus Christ. I don't know how you do it.
Uh, Patience and YouTube videos because I am so fucking rusty. It's horrible. I don't even remember half the game.
It's
That
the best
said,
though. I'd say that's the best if you're returning to it is when you can't remember like most of it, because then at least it's not.
It's some relatively fresh.
Yeah.
yeah, it is kind of like relearning it over. It's heartening, disheartening, I should say, when I played it 5, 6 years ago and I beat that crap out of it. Dominated the game,
And now it's humbling you on the second run.
and now it's humbling my ass, and I feel like I don't know.
Does it make you feel old?
No, it makes me feel pathetic. Like I'm playing missions and I'm trying to S rank up, and I'm like, how the hell did I even do this the first time?
Trial and error.
Is this even possible?
You've just forgotten the 20 times you had to try the mission over again.
Yeah.
I guess I don't know, but anyway,
Yeah, you don't remember the 20 attempts where you were wanting to smash the keyboard, but you definitely remember the time you actually succeed and you were like, yeah, that's the one I'm going to commit to memory.
That's the only one that counts.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I do have some news.
Oh no.
Nothing groundbreaking or game changing, but to begin with, a couple of these are just little snippets that I wanted to point out, or for anyone listening if they're interested.
Hello, Seth.
Okay. Koshi?
Yeah. Hello.
Oh, sorry, was I talking?
Yeah. No,
Oh,
you
sorry.
weren't.
No, you weren't.
Oh.
That's the problem.
Oh, okay. The big internet meme right now, Barb Oppenheimer, that's been going on. Barbie has dominated the box office, breaking a few records.
I guess it is a Barbie world after all.
To no one's
It is.
fucking surprise.
And
I'm kind of surprised, to be honest.
Mattel has
I'm not.
already
It's
announced they're
Barbie.
looking at
Everybody knows what
sequels.
Barbie is.
Yeah, but I didn't expect people would flock to go see it.
Well, I feel like they did good marketing to like let people know that it's not it's not a
It's not a retelling of.
it's not
They're not
it's,
going to see it because it's Barbie. They're going to see it because it's a comedy.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah.
let it
But
know that
even
it's
then,
it's
like-
a comedy that pretty much everybody can enjoy, and the actors
Yeah.
in it were seemingly a good cast to bring people in as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oppenheimer is hanging in there, but and it is getting better reviews. And it's actually, I think, if I remember correctly, it is Christopher Nolan's highest rated film thus far. But it's not making the money that Barbie is. But it's not exactly a box office failure either.
Well, I feel like I unironically those two movies getting the memers behind them to like link them to both together has allowed them both to thrive off each other's success at the same time.
Yeah.
Because of the whole Barbieheimer thing.
Yeah.
Because that's been just dominating the internet for the past month? before
Like,
the
I would
release.
say at least the last like 2 weeks for sure.
Which I feel like has definitely helped both movies climb their way up there. Not to say that they wouldn't have been successful on their own.
No, but you know, it helps.
I feel it's definitely helped them.
Yeah.
Next up on my list, I have Blizzard news regarding Diablo 4. Blizzard has acknowledged that the latest
season
1 update patch was complete garbage, and they're going back to reworking it. But they've also issued a warning to any Diablo 4 players that they must stop using modifying software, i.e., mods, for the game, or they could risk a permanent ban.
Let people have fun.
Well,
unless it's like hacking multiplayer. Oh, it's fucking always on. Oh yeah, never mind.
Like if they just had an offline mode, they just give people an offline mode and then let them mod whatever the fuck they want. But the fact that it's always online is exactly why they can't. They're not going to let you mod.
Diablo 2 did it fucking perfectly. There was Battle.net, which had your characters stored online on a server, which meant you couldn't hack the save on them.
Yeah.
And then there was Open Battle.net, which used your local saves, which you could hack. But because you could hack it, everyone hacked the save file, so everyone was overpowered. And that was hilarious because you'd have fucking barbarians with paladin auras and just murking everything. It was great. But if you didn't want to, interact with that, there was the closed Battle.net where you didn't have access to that your save file because it was online.
The legit run, yeah.
And it's like every time this has happened, especially with Blizzard, because it was Blizzard who did this. This was Blizzard's system. It's like, just do that. Have two different systems where one's local and go mod the shit out of this character and have that. And if people complain of, well, I want to do both, well, have a download button so you can download a local copy of your character.
Just do. Hey, here's your. This is pretty much what you're saying, but this is how they do it these days. Hey, here's your offline character, which you can mod until eternity, and here's your online character. And if you if you have modded that one, then yeah, you might get a ban and everything like that. Boom, problem solved. But I guess you gotta be online to play a game that. I mean, are people really playing Diablo with friends that much? I don't really know, but I always feel like those kind of games are more single player.
Well, I feel like at least with Diablo 4, it's mostly played solo by people, but then you've got like the overworld activities that people are enjoying in groups and things like that.
Yeah, because
I enjoy the game solo, but I do like the fact that I can team up with a friend at any point. You know, like I like having that option, and I wish a few more games would do that. But even if it did mean sacrificing the whole, like it always has to be online. Like if that was like the compromise that I had to deal with, that's fine because I'm not really that bothered by that. I know some people are like really annoyed by the fact that everything's online. It's like my internet connection's fine, so I'm never really bothered by it.
Yeah, no, but I think it's in case the internet does go down and everything
I get it. Like Koshi's doomsday prediction that we're gonna fucking deal with the solar flare thing.
Not even that. Like, it's vacation time. Let's say you're loving Diablo 4. You have a laptop that can run it. You want to bring it on vacation, but you're not really gonna have either good Wi-Fi there or maybe not internet at all.
Yeah, that's true.
And you're just kind of like, I want to play it, but I can't because I gotta be online. That's why I'm saying like make an offline mode.
Well, I as a hermit neat do not have to worry about that shit. So
True.
So it permanently being online does not really affect me. But I do understand the argument.
Yeah. I just feel like for those type of games, I get an online mode, but I would definitely always have an offline mode.
Yeah, I do think there should be the option. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying. Like I don't. For me personally, it doesn't affect me that it's always online. Therefore, like if I had to deal with that, that's fine with me. But in a perfect world, I would definitely want an offline mode to be available as well.
Yeah.
So like just for that, I mean, more options is always great. Like there's never a downside to having more options.
It's not like I'm assuming it's not that hard to make. Because you've made the entire game. Just make it. Hey, people can join. Boom.
Well, I think it's to do with like how the I mean, you say it can't be that hard, but it might be from a technical standpoint because if they've designed the encounters with the layers of connectivity behind it running in the background, then it might be difficult to like. You might have to like rework a bunch of code to get it to work without online.
I feel like just take its standard of like, hey, what's the average, or like let's put it at that.
I mean, they can do it because that's what they did with 3. Because 3 was online only. People went mental, and then they got rid of it. It took them a few months, but they got rid of it. Diablo 3 was originally online only, and then people bitched like fuck. And then the first major update was about 3 or 4 months later, and that was the big selling point, if you will, of the patch was no longer online only. You can just turn it on if you want. And then the next one was them getting rid of the auction house because they were told to, because it was gambling because it was real money trading gambling, which
players hated it. So
yeah, that is right. But that's the excuse that they get. Oh, they did hate it, but it's not. Oh, hey, look, we listened to the players and we're getting rid of it.
No.
Yeah.
That's not what they said. What they said was, no, it was, hey, the players are saying this, we don't care. Oh, hey, the law is telling us to do it, so we're going to do that now.
Yeah, that sounds right on the fucking money for Blizzard, to be honest.
Because it's basically because you used real money. It wasn't like, oh, you give money to Blizzard, they give you some currency, and then you spend that currency at the auction house. You spent real dollars or pounds or whatever in the auction house, which meant there needed to be certain safeguards and fail safes and stuff in the system, which they didn't put in. So they were like, either put these fail safes in or get rid of it. And they went, it's going to be a lot cheaper and easier for us to just get rid of it.
Yeah, but I thought, and not that I I remember it as being that they kind of went like, yeah, that's kind of like, and legally we have to do it. But hey, we listened to the players and they don't really like it, and legally we can't do it. But so we
no
wanted
doubt
to.
they were trying to spin it in their favor, saying, "Oh, we're doing this for the players." Like, fuck off, are you?
Yeah, that's how I remember it.
I've played
Not
WoW long
doubting you.
enough. I've played WoW long enough to know the bullshit, Blizzard. You can't fucking spiel me in the other games either. For the players, my arse.
We know you're.
It's never for the players.
It's like that. I think I posted the video. What is it? What was it called? Where did I post it actually? So I can just. It's pay to win the game or something like that, and it just it just goes through like literally like all of the buzzwords that they used to try and trick you into it. It's like, hey, join the community and pay us $20.
Also, the thing that again, Josh Strife Hayes always mentions when he looks at like the shops, and it's like, what do you call it, predatory spending, where like the item might cost 1,200 of the currency, but you can, which means you have to buy 1,000 and 500. Oh, I've got 300. What can I buy with 300? Well, there's something for 200 and there's something for 500. So it works out that you're pretty much always gonna have currency left over, so you're always gonna want to spend more to get rid of it. Kind of thing.
Yeah, it's every cash shop, or at least every modern cash shop. Now that they've figured it all out, every modern cash shop is meticulously designed to program your mind into returning to it and spending money. The moment you click on that shop, it is trying to work your brain into getting to spend money in some capacity. Obviously, it works better on some people than it does others, but it is from the moment you click it, it's wanting, or even the moment you open the game, it's trying to like get you to go there, because you'll see the shop button is always the most flashy fucking button on the screen. It's always the one highlighted in the menus and stuff like that. It's like, okay.
I remember like a video, and it's like, oh, I'm playing The Sims, playing an EA game until EA tries to sell me something. And he's like, all right, I think this video is like 40 seconds long or something like that. Like, all right, I'm just gonna play until they try to sell me something. And he opens up like The Sims, I think it's 3, but it might be 4. He opens it up, you get like the loading screen, and it's like, oh hey, there's new DLC available. And it's like, fuck, DLC counts, doesn't it? And he closes the game. There we go.
It's like, I get it for the funny point, but I don't mind a game when you launch it up and it boots up and it says, oh, by the way, this has been launched. Like, that's fine. I don't mind advertising like content
DLC,
for the game,
think,
like where it's like, like you can go buy this
DLC. I think gets it off. I think as long as if the game's clever about it, of hey, we've launched a new DLC, oh fine for like the first week. But then if it detects that you've got the DLC, don't do that again.
Yeah.
But like when it say, hey, new DLC, it's like, I know, I'm currently fucking playing it, and I have been for the past 6 hours. Stop telling me.
Or just like, yes, I've acknowledged that I've seen this.
Yeah,
give me DLC.
give me the 3 options. It's usually okay, cancel, or never show this again. That's my favorite one. Never show this again.
Never show this again. Yeah, always click that on the on the cash shop.
100%. Anything that comes up on my PC, if it says never show this again, I'm clicking that fucking button. Get out of my face with it. I've seen it. I've acknowledged it. I don't care. Move on. Stop trying to show me the same thing over and over again. I don't care what it is. It could be in a game. It could be on a fucking application I'm running on the PC. Just get out my face. I don't need pop-ups every goddamn 5 seconds. I'm trying to use something. I opened it for a reason, not to goddamn view your patch notes or whatever the hell.
Oh yeah. That's the same. I kind of want the do not recommend button on, especially on Netflix, but on Prime and everything like that, because I just keep getting fucking recommended shit I have no interest in. Like, it's nothing against the show, but I've been it's for a steady, I think, 4 years or so. I've been just constantly my recommendations, The Office, the US version, and The Big Bang Theory, and I have no interest in watching either of these because some of my interest overlaps, it just keeps fucking recommending it.
Yeah,
And the fine shows, I just
weird.
don't care. So it would be nice if I could just go like, no.
What I hate
No,
is
please.
at least about Netflix is that you watch one anime show. One anime show. You could just watch one episode of an anime show, and your fucking recommended feed is full of anime shows. God damn it. I'm not interested in watching these goddamn shows. I watched one or two, maybe. Yeah. I watched 2 anime shows, and now suddenly I'm the biggest weeb on the planet according to Netflix.
Well, it's not just anime, because my feed at the moment is, I guess, if you were to just show up, would be kind of troubling, because it's literally just like I've been watching some a show about the Confession Killer, and now everything is like, hey, you watch this, hey, here's some more serial killers for you. It's like my entire feed is just like serial killers, murderers. Oh yeah, I'm a stalker. All right. It's like, okay. I mean, I'm into it, but it's kind of like
you're
I like
into
watching
You're
it,
into it, but the FBI agent might not be.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's put this guy on a list. He's watching way too many of these documentaries.
Yeah.
He's taking notes. He's got a pen and a notepad with him when he watches
how
them.
not to do it. It's like, oh god damn it.
He's reciting
and then
things
you want
that
to
the
watch
killers
something
are
else,
saying.
and it's like, yeah.
I mean, that's why I watch all like the murder programs and stuff. The cop shows. It's like I need to know how to avoid being caught.
Yeah.
What mistakes did they make?
Yeah.
Someone's got to get it right eventually, and it's gonna be me.
I mean,
if
they got it right, we would never find out about it.
I mean, I keep trying to do more research on Jack the Ripper, but you know, that's how the guy got away.
Or the other Ripper, because England has 2 Rippers.
Yorkshire Ripper, yeah, but he got caught.
What a loser!
Yeah. Couldn't even come up with his own name.
He needs to.
I mean, to be fair, like it took him a long time to get caught. Like pretty much every guy in Yorkshire was interviewed at some point because they were trying to find out. Because like all the descriptions of him were basically just generic brunette dude with blue eyes or something, and it's like that's all the descriptions they have. It's like that's literally pretty much like 98% of the people in Yorkshire. It's like, okay, what the fuck?
Clearly, he just needed he needed more lessons from Koshi, because Koshi's never been caught.
As far as we know.
Yeah, he might be already a double agent at this point. They've turned him. He's waiting for the cops now.
It's like those hackers that they get. Like, okay, come work for us now. Except one famously. Is he even around?
I don't know. He hasn't defended himself.
So, yeah, let's assume.
He's busy hiding the body.
Yeah. I just realized, if you go off of my things this week, it's definitely creepy, because it's serial killer stuff and murder stuff, and I've also ordered whetstones to sharpen knives to learn myself how to sharpen my kitchen knives. So yeah, I'm thinking about it now. It's like, yeah, this is not a good week for my internet history.
They're just sitting there waiting patiently for you to order the conspicuous amount of limes and a shovel.
I mean, I do like limes.
And some rope.
Yeah, not rope, not so much. That burns.
It's not for you.
What? I'm the one that's got to hold it and tie it up and everything. You know?
Well, I imagine you'd be wearing gloves.
You said limes? Did you mean quicklime?
Sure. I don't know. I'm not a serial fucking killer, am I? I don't know the goddamn intricate.
Like, limes.
He doesn't have the patience for it. He's raging too much too.
Limes is what you put in your alcoholic drink. Quicklime is what you use to make
your alcoholic one.
Okay, a fucking alcoholic over here. Yes, like limes. The only reason we have those is for drinking.
That's like limes, I guess, to hide the smell or something, or maybe the acidity. I wasn't sure how you use it, but I wasn't gonna question it.
It took me a minute. I went, "Oh no, does he mean quicklime?" Because that dissolves flesh, but it's flesh and bone.
Yes.
But, yeah.
It's like, I mean, maybe he enjoys a margarita afterwards to celebrate. I
mean, yes. I'd say it's a victory drink.
Or a nice key lime pie.
Yeah.
Can't
No,
go
no.
wrong with that either.
Yes, you can.
I know you can't. Well, I guess if you buy the cheap crap.
You can undercook it.
Oh yeah, but then you wouldn't if they own. Well, if you make it yourself, fair enough. But if you buy it and they sell you an undercooked one, then yeah, just ask for your money
No,
back.
they go, no. It's just it's al dente.
Yeah,
It's supposed to be like that.
which is fine. Al dente. People are so obsessed when it needs to be al dente that it's insane. Because that's just one way of having your pasta. It's kind of like everybody agreeing that your steak should be medium for some reason, and
Yeah, that pisses me off.
that's the go-to. And it's like, no, you can have your pasta a little bit different as well. You can sometimes a bit more, sometimes a bit less, depending on Obviously, you don't like with meat, you don't want it raw, but there's a scale of it.
Yeah.
Oh well, gives people a reason to complain. So whatever.
Koshi.
Yo.
Oh, he is
Oh,
there.
he lives.
He lives. Have you been here the whole time?
No, I had run down to the basement for a second.
We shall not question why.
Yeah,
that's fair. That's fair.
yeah.
Well, mostly because we already know the answer, but...
Were you running out of limes?
Limes? No.
Fuck.
Fuck are limes for?
God damn
know.
it. This is not becoming a bit. I'm not allowing it. Does anybody have anything to talk about?
Yeah, I've got quite a few bit here.
Go on. Go for it.
Where did I leave off here?
Oppenheimer.
Yes.
Okay, so that concludes the movie and Hollywood area of the news. Onto the TV side of things, Twisted Metal, which is running on the Peacock network at the moment, is actually getting pretty decent reviews. People are calling it
band?
Huh?
Isn't that a band?
No, it's a video game.
Oh, okay.
People are calling it the Underdog.
They were
It's
awesome
one of
video
those,
games
like,
too, by the way.
It's like you know what, Funky? You'd understand this. It's like Extraction. It's one of those cheesy popcorn movies that's kind of shit, but somehow you still kind of enjoy it.
Yeah.
That's what they're calling this, basically.
Just brain off, have fun. Yeah.
So I'm kind of curious about that. I might check that out.
So
so
it's basically just goofy, needless violence.
Yeah, pretty much.
But thinking back to Twisted Metal, that kind of fits because that's basically what the games are anyway. They're just needlessly goofy violence. You drive around in the most fucking weird ass vehicles and just blow the shit out of people.
So what you're saying, it's very accurate to the game.
Pretty much, yeah. Like that's like I don't think it would have worked if they went like a more serious route.
Hell no.
I think keeping it like hammy is actually probably for the best.
Yeah. As I now remember, I was thinking of the Twisted Sister and another band. Yeah, I've looked up the metal. Yeah. I remember. I played one
Surely,
of these.
yeah. I was gonna say like surely you've played them because they were pretty big back in the
Yeah.
in the
I've
day.
never owned one, but I have played one with friends.
Yeah. Someone would have had it at some point.
Yeah, exactly.
I had 1 and 2, I think. I didn't play Twisted Metal Black, because that came out like years later.
Oh, and it's with what's his name? Is it Anthony? I always forget.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. The guy from Marvel.
Anthony Mackie. There we go.
Yeah. And also the girl from what was that cop show? Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah.
I don't watch that, so I can't say. I don't recognize her, and the icon is too small to go like, oh yeah, it's her.
You probably know her as the main voice actress for Encanto.
No.
Was it the goody two shoes cop or the badass bitch cop?
The badass bitch.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah, the real cynical, badass, kick everybody's ass bitch.
She was my favorite character.
Oh, is that show over?
To no one's surprise. I don't know, actually. I haven't watched
I
it
don't
in a
know.
while.
Yeah, it's over now.
Okay.
It ended,
Okay.
I think, in 21 or 22.
Yeah, it
It
ended
had
pretty
half a
recently.
season.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never seen it. Well, I've watched one episode and I was like, not for me.
Also on the news front, under television, I'm not sure where this is going to air, but it's showing it under Toonami. But Toonami's not really a channel anymore, I don't think.
I think they're
So I
owned
don't know
by
what
Cartoon
streaming
Network.
service it's going to fall under.
Is that
But
how is that spelled? Is that literally like tsunami and tuna combined?
no, it's
Toon.
TON, like a
Oh,
cartoon.
tune, not cartoon. Okay, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
But they're owned by Cartoon Network, but I don't know who
Yeah.
owns Cartoon Network. So.
well, right now it's under HBO Max
Right.
for here in the States. I can watch Toonami and the other Cartoon Network.
I think Cartoon Network falls on Disney Plus here.
I'm not
I
sure.
think, or I think it's actually a mix of depending. I think it's Disney or Amazon. I think is where most of them end up.
I haven't watched Cartoon Network since I was in England and had Sky.
That's wonderful. The show in question
So
will
that's
be
ironic
called.
because England isn't known for its sky. But go ahead, Koshi. Sorry, I had to put a dig in there.
Of course, he's about to bust his fucking casket.
Yeah.
You're gonna find this interesting, Funky. Shinichiro Watanabe and Chad Stahelski. Chad, who is not a Chad, by the way, is the creative director behind a little movie called John Wick.
Oh.
And Watanabe is the creative director behind, or just the creator of Cowboy Bebop. Are coming
Oh,
together
that one.
to create
Okay, yeah.
They're creating a new show called Lazarus on the aforementioned Toonami. It's called Lazarus. It is about a scientist who develops a pill that basically cures all sickness or something to that effect. And everyone starts taking it. And about 3 years later, he reveals that everyone who's been taking it is it's actually poison. And everyone who's taking it is slowly going to start to die. So a team of 5 people named Lazarus is created to search for the scientist and try to stop him before his plan can go into effect. It was announced at San Diego Comic-Con this year. I think like last week or a week and a half ago, maybe.
Seems like a very weird setup, but it could be really interesting. Yeah, the story's kind of like, huh, what? But
No, I can see it.
unique. Yeah, no, it's just
Sounds interesting to me.
not your typical curveball there.
No.
But definitely interested and two great people. So at least creatively, I don't know about them personally, but
Also, moving on from that, in video game news, I've only got 2 last little bullet points here to point out. One is from, and I'm gonna murder his name because I don't speak Narnian, but Vicny from Larian.
oh, Finky, yeah, okay.
He was talking about Baldur's Gate 3, and he said they asked him point blank, will there be, if not at release, eventually, or any plans to put in a DM mode, Dungeon Master mode?
Like
and he
how,
said, no, unfortunately. Yeah, just like Vinny Original Sin 2 had it.
Yeah.
He said, unfortunately, no, because of the complexity of the game, it would be way too much work, and the team needs a break.
Fair enough.
However, what they are doing is they're going to be releasing mod tools shortly after the game releases.
Oh, the creative engine, yeah, they did
Yes.
that with the last one as well.
So that so that anyone can pretty much make whatever they want in the game within the confines of the game. So
That's good.
yeah, that'll be interesting. So
It's a shame, but understandable.
all I know is big titty goth dwarves are coming my way.
With a nice bushy beard, don't forget that.
No, I'm gonna forget that. I like my women fave. Thanks.
Hmm.
But also, a segue from that to that, from that, they did announce that their next game they will be working on after said break will be the next Divinity Original Sin.
Okay.
Oh, they're going back to Original Sin. Nice.
Yep. So they will be making it 3. But first they're going to take a long break. Not a long break, but a break. And then
I'll be
then they're
honest, I
going to
was
see what
kind of
they want to do about
expecting
that.
I was kind of expecting that maybe down the line, it would rather go, obviously waiting for the reviews and everything, but I was kind of expecting them to do like an expansion or something like that. Not that I'm complaining about Original Sin 3, but that's kind of the way I was assuming it would go.
I kind of figured the same now that they had the license. Maybe the license
Yeah.
is only for one game, but I assumed that they were going to delve more into the Dungeons and Dragons world in some way.
Or maybe it could be like they're going to start working on 3, but that's mainly going to be what story do we want to build, get some creative stuff going while the main team is working on like an expansion or something like that.
Yeah, there might be ways.
Oh, go ahead, Zach. Go ahead.
I think if he's going to start working on it, it might be like they say, just doing like the storyboarding. What kind of characters do we want in 3? Blah blah blah. I'm waiting for Wizards of the Coast to go. Okay, the base game did well enough. Go do an expansion, and then they'll go. Okay, expansion. The storyboard's done. We'll do an expansion now. Then go back to 3, and then just go back and forth as Wizards of the Coast. Because Wizards of the Coast are like Games Workshop. They're extremely finicky with copyright and who they give licensing to, and limiting the licensing as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, very true.
So it wouldn't surprise me if they said, "Okay, we're giving you the base game. Don't plan for expansions. Just do the base game, and then we will maybe give you an expansion if the game does well."
Yeah, maybe it's just funding for that. We'll see. Either way, I'm gonna be happy.
The very last mention I have. Now, this is a game that has been growing some big buzz lately. You may have heard of it. It's called Lords of the Fallen.
Yeah.
Oh, I've owned the original one.
I played that.
So for those of you who don't know how this works, because I don't know was there a previous game in the franchise?
Yeah. But made by the same guys.
Yes,
okay,
but
so
it's one of those.
For those at home, Seth,
Hello, Seth.
and I don't know if this is the same as the previous games, but in Lords of the Fallen, which comes out October 23rd, it's running a lot like Elden Ring. It looks a lot like Elden Ring. People are comparing it to Elden Ring, and it could be a really big hit when it drops. Now they just released a new video showcasing some of the new features or what to expect in the game, and they showed off the 2 worlds or the parallel worlds. Is that something that's in the original?
Yeah, there are multiple worlds in it. Yeah,
it's on Steam.
I wouldn't say if they're parallel. I think it's more like.
I don't know if it's still on Steam because with the new one coming, they might have.
All right, so
the first one was
it
fucking
is.
horrendous.
They
might want to get rid of it.
Okay, so I don't know how in depth it is or how they exactly utilized it, but here in the new one, and you can tell me if it's the same or not, or what the differences are. In the new one, they created 2 identical worlds, basically a living and a death world, which they just call it as a parallel world.
Mm-hmm.
So you play the game as normal, as you usually would in any adventure game, RPG like this. And if you die in the game, you go to the death world. And in the death world, you basically have to do puzzles and other things to get out of the death world to get back to the world of the living. So when you die, it's not game over. There's like a whole different level. There's a whole different thing to do in the game. They said it's pretty sizable. In fact, there are some areas you have to forcibly kill your character to complete a puzzle or a quest or something to get to that world. But if you die in the death world, then you die for good. So they've got like a parallel, two worlds thing going. And they said it was pretty sizable. It's pretty big, gargantuan. It's almost as big as the top world, if you want to call it that, the living world.
Yeah. I'm not sure
And
about that system.
well, this is for the new one. I don't know for the old ones.
Yeah. No, it wasn't in the old one.
Okay, so they were showing off a little of that in the news video. They were also showing off some of the bosses. Some of the bosses, I don't know if that's the same in the old ones, but in here, they're like Shadow of the Colossus size, like really big.
No, that's also new.
Yeah. And the last thing, also like Elden Ring, it has co-op, and your realm, if you want to say that, your realm can be invaded by PvP if you want that. You can invade others through PvP if you want to do that. And it has seamless drop in and drop out 2-player co-op. My hope is that there's going to be a mod where allow all 4 of us to play.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of interested in that, but I need to look more into it because I've heard of Lords of the Fallen and I've heard people talking about it, but I never paid attention to it till about this week.
Well,
It was the original. Go ahead.
The 2014 version of it, which is the original one, has like really terrible reviews on Steam.
Every game that company's done is not good.
Yeah, apparently it's buggy and it doesn't run very well, and there's a bunch of like gameplay issues that they never really addressed.
Didn't they make the Surge after that?
Yeah, they made the Surge. Yeah. Surge 2 is better apparently, but it's still not great.
Wait, they made the Surge series?
Yep.
Yeah.
Unlisted. Get me off this fucking thing. The Surge 1 and 2 are probably some of the worst games I've seen, recently.
They came after Lords of the Fallen, by the way. Yeah. They're after they learned what to do after Lords of the
Fallen. Yeah. Lords of the Fallen was...
Oh my god.
Time-wise, was the first Souls-like, because everything before that was... You had Demon Souls, you had Dark Souls, and then you had Lords of the Fallen, and that was like... I think maybe it was around the time that 2 came out. I think it's before 2, but I might be wrong about that, but it's around that time. And it was just like, oh, hey, this is the first time somebody's gonna take the Dark Souls, which by then was still relatively niche. It started to gain some traction where people know it, but it wasn't like a must-play series.
Yeah.
It was more like, oh yeah, it's a game that I saw somebody yell at on Twitch. And that one came out, and it's just like, yeah, no, this isn't it.
Yeah, I'm not a happy camper right now.
I mean, it might be better because it has been a while, but I'd say stay away from the hype train.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't, because of their track record. This is not a game I would ever pre-order or buy a release. I would definitely wait for reviews to come out on this.
Yeah. Also, assuming it's good, I still feel like that whole 2 worlds thing, while it's a cool idea, wouldn't that just
Wait, are you sure they made the Surge and Surge 2?
Yes.
I think so.
They did.
If it's the same company that did the first, the first Lords of the Fallen was made Surge.
So wait.
Is it not the same company making this Lords of the Fallen?
Because they're listed, when I look up the Surge 2, it's listed as the developers Deck 13 and publishers Focus Entertainment. But when I go to Lords of the Fallen, the developer is listed as Hexworks, and the publisher is CL Games or CI Games. And when I go through their list, which it has, by the way, Sniper Ghost Warrior contracts too.
It does, yeah.
Oh,
I don't see the Surge in it, but I do see Lords of the Fallen soundtrack.
Might be new devs then.
And Lords of the Fallen,
which is $30.
Or it's the same devs and they've just got a different company name. Who knows?
No, because CI is the one that like Yoshi said, they are the ones that make the Ghost Warrior games. So the sniping games.
Yeah, but they also...
It's it's the same publisher, but it's a different developer. Lords of the Fallen 2014 was also published by CL or CI Games. I can't tell.
I think it's CI.
CI Games, but it's also developed by Deck 13.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I hate the
Victor
shit.
did the
I
spot.
fucking it annoys the hell out of me. This thing on Steam now. If you click a developer and they're part of like a certain publisher,
Oh yeah.
it only shows the publisher. You cannot fucking look at like it forces you to look at the publisher and their entire fucking selection. You can't look at the developers list anymore.
It's really fucking annoying for definitely for a big publisher. Like every now and then I want to see if I I don't even I know, but I'm not gonna pronounce it. The studio that makes the Yakuza games. I'm always, because I have like a couple of spin-off game. Well, not like they use the same formula and the same engine, but they set it in a different setting, like the North Star one that was on PlayStation. And every now and then I want to check if that one maybe gets a PC port, and it's just like, oh, here's everything Sega does.
Yeah.
This is funny.
Fuck.
I just want to point this out real quick. So on Lords of the Fallen 2014 version, on the web page, Steam page, I see the review scores. GameSpot 80, CD Action 90, IGN 8.5, Digital Chumps 84, PlayStation 80, GameStar 79, Game Informer 85. I scroll down and I see the very first review. Holy hell, this may just be the worst game I've ever played. So bad that I needed to leave a review to warn others.
See, but the reason why it got positive reviews is because it was an easier Dark Souls, so the game journalists could at least get through the tutorial.
I guess, but that is polarizing if I've ever seen it.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
having played it, it's like it's definitely not a good game, and it definitely had its issues and everything like that. But I think it still had something going for it. I wasn't like, oh my god, I hate every minute of this. It was a little bit cringy, but it was trying to be like WoW art style, the Blizzard art style, big pauldrons and everything like that with Souls combat, and it looked nice. The everything was relatively good. Just the gameplay itself and too many bugs were just like, yeah, this isn't quite right.
well,
There's
I'll
a review
keep.
here. Hold on. There's a review that just says the main character swings swords like a toy whose arms cannot bend.
Yeah, true.
Well, I'll keep an eye on the new one when it releases and see how it's going.
Yeah.
And if it looks like it might be worth playing, the four of us, and there's a mod that supports that, I'll bring it up again. But if you never hear me bring it up again, then consider it dead.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm not sure of, and I tried to make it, but we kind of got off track, but it doesn't matter. Is assuming it's a good game, and everything like that, because we always hope for the best. But like the two different worlds, while a really fun idea, I feel like if I die, I kind of want to just get back into the action and try to do the thing that beat me, versus now I suddenly am in a different world and I gotta go do puzzles, and then I'm used to doing puzzles, and then I'm done with the puzzles, and suddenly I gotta go
it might
back
break
into
you out of your flow.
action. Like, yeah,
I can see that.
that's my biggest thing where I'm like, nice idea, but might be a little bit of a hindrance more than it is a good thing. And,
The very last thing
Hold on.
I have.
Let me just read this one. This is gold. I'm just gonna read the intro paragraph because it's like a lengthy review. I'm not gonna read the whole thing, but it's the Steam review. Dear Jesus, I pen this letter to you with a heavy heart, burdened by the sheer disappointment and betrayal I have endured while experiencing this abomination that is Lords of the Fallen. As a loyal follower and believer in your divine teachings, I cannot fathom how such a wretched creation could exist in a world that craves true artistic expression. Which is fucking gold. Yours, it signs off, yours in disappointment, Judas. What the fuck?
10 out of 10.
Steam reviews.
Yeah.
Some of the best thing about the site, to be honest.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
It's
sorry,
that,
Koshi.
and some of the Amazon reviews are funny as well because you have like I watched it recently for, like I said, for Whetstones and everything, and it's like, yeah, there's people complaining here and they're idiots because they clearly bought something not knowing how it works, and they're complaining about things when it's clearly from how they're explaining it. They haven't read how to do it. It's it's just, here's how you do it, you idiots. Oh yeah, I love flaming in reviews.
Anyway, Koshi, carry on.
Yeah, it's I don't know. You just can't help those people.
Yeah.
First, I want to know, what are you buying whetstones for?
I'm
What a
gonna learn how
callback.
to sharpen my kitchen knives.
Okay.
Let's get a knife sharpener.
Yeah, but he
No,
wants
it's not as good.
he wants to do it the
The
ye
olden way.
old way, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Whetstones and a bit of leather.
Because fuck
Yeah,
technology,
okay.
I guess.
no, it's just genuinely better.
Yeah, it does get them sharper.
The very last thing I have, it's kind of a big one, but well,
That's what she
there
said.
is exactly 40 days, 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 35 seconds until Starfield releases.
So I think you'll
Fucking
find it's
damn it.
30 seconds.
And that's all I got.
Okay, so I'm still feeling the same about it, Koshi.
About what?
Starfield.
The greatest game to never be released yet? Yeah.
Yeah. Have you heard that
God damn.
legally Star Citizen is out?
What?
It's not out yet, but legally they considered it released.
Excuse
What?
me? You want to elaborate on that?
What
There's
the fuck?
there's a court case
Oh
where
god.
somebody wanted a refund, and to be fair to them, they've mostly given, I think is like, they give it like, let's say he wanted 30,000 back, they given him like 29,900 or something back. But technically, because it's in quote unquote kind of early access, they consider it released and it's available for playing.
Bro.
But they've, and they've never claimed that it was done. It just said they consider it released.
What the
It's like,
fuck?
legally, no, yeah, legally we have the right to not give you a refund now.
Yeah, I got the video here.
Bullshit.
Star Citizen refund drama. Star Citizen is considered released, and it pretty much goes into everything Funky was just talking about. The person in question also put in 270 hours of game time.
Yeah, no. Like it's the actual case is kind of like, but it's interesting that they legally had to be like, yeah, legally, Star Citizen is released, so everybody that was waiting until it was released, here's your chance to go and buy it.
Jesus Christ.
I think I don't know. I'm kind of conflicted on this one because if you put that many hours into a game,
You kind of
Oh
got
yeah,
money out of it.
yeah. But on the other hand, is this a game?
Yeah. On the other
I will,
hand,
I will,
on the
I
other
will add a
hand, if you
caveat to that.
on the
Of yeah,
yeah,
put
He won- he
270
won-
hours in. But if they do something which they have done before, where they fundamentally change a bunch of mechanics, so it's not it's basically not the same game
He-
anymore, then
Yeah.
sure, I give him that because they have done that. But other games do that, and they have done it multiple times,
I think
and people have got the money back for it. So
I think if I remember it right, it's not for the game itself. It's for, he wants his money back from like ships that have yet to be released and everything
Yeah.
like that. And it's like, yeah, no, I'm tired of waiting.
basically, he
And
wants
it's
his pre-order money
yeah,
back. Which
yeah.
but by that point, they do actually have to give that money back.
Yeah, like I said, legally it's I think he was in, I think it was 30,000, but like insane amount of money. But let's just say even if it's $300, like they gave him like 290
Yeah, they didn't give him it all
bucks
back.
back, even though they didn't have to, but they gave that anyway. So to be fair to them,
To be fair,
they did do that when they didn't have to, but still, it's kind of like.
So I got a question for y'all, for all of y'all.
And all the people in the world.
With the recent ongoings in the U.S. government, aliens, real or not?
Do you mean
no,
somewhere
I
out
don't mean
there,
illegal
or
aliens.
Are we
mean
talking? Is the U.S.
terrestrials that
government
are
made of
extra.
aliens, or
are we talking landed, or are we talking just anywhere in the universe?
Okay.
So are you unaware of what's going on then?
no?
I am aware, but you're asking
So
aliens.
I'm asking a question. You obviously know what I'm asking to, but instead of getting on with it, you're gonna sit there and be pedantic about it. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about. U.S.
No.
government's a key word there, or key phrase. Aliens, key word there. Put the two and two together. What's been in the news lately?
I don't know. I don't read the
It's
news.
about
Elon
it's
Musk.
about the Polish immigrants who've been moving in
It's
and
about
taking
Elon
all
Musk
the people's
renaming
jobs.
Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Well,
It is Vegas. So if there's one place they would visit, it would be Vegas.
So
It's
they
not
can't
Florida,
come
I'll
here.
tell you that.
Can't come
Sorry,
to
Zion,
England
what were you
anymore.
saying?
They can't come to England anymore because Brexit means we closed the borders. They don't
Yeah.
have free passage anymore, so they've got to go somewhere.
And ever since that one guy and his team revealed that all of those grub circs were pretty much him and his team, suddenly they've stopped showing up. So there's also that.
So are aliens real? Do you believe what's going on?
No. I do believe aliens are real, but I don't think they've landed.
Same. But supposedly the U.S. government has what is it, 50 UFO or now UAP sightings, and some of them are submersible.
Yeah, no. You're telling me that an intelligent life form that is intelligent enough to travel the fucking universe isn't smart enough to
avoid us.
Have a ship that can withstand the atmosphere,
Yeah.
and it keeps crashing. I know.
I mean, I get there's going to be accidents, but at some point, but the sheer amount, especially such a short amount of time for our lifespans, essentially. Yeah, no, that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah.
There may be one legitimate they've got. I'll get around and maybe one, maybe two at a push, or at least wreckage. But that's as far as I'd let them take that number.
Well, they're not saying that they've got 50. They're just saying they've had sightings.
Yeah.
But they supposedly also have wreckage from a ship or something that is not terrestrial origin. And again, that means not from Earth.
Fuck off.
You thought it was an MMO.
You dickheads.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not buying that.
All right. Apparently,
because it's mainly just even if let's assume they visit only the U.S.
But it's also if these fuckers have got the technology to travel God knows how far, do you not think they'd have the technology to block our shitty, detection things? Even we have the technology to block our own detection hardware. You don't think these fuckers could travel across
don't think
the
they have
galaxy?
an Earth VPN?
I mean, it
They've
depends.
got a VPN. We'll just look at them and think, oh, it's the moon.
I guess it depends though, because what if because there's a lot of things that we don't understand about space. I mean, we've kind of figured out a decent amount, but it's not like there's still a lot of unknowns because we cannot travel to other planets yet. So, what if it's what if they can't evade our detection right now? Because yes, we can because we made it, but maybe they've got detection systems on their planet that they know how to evade because they made it, but it's a different frequency or it's a different materials that are used and things like that. I don't know. Maybe they literally, they've got the tech to get to other places, but maybe that's as far as it goes.
Maybe they're just all landing and crashing here and getting arrested by the American army, and they're sending messages back to their home planet, and it's just like, hey, it's just an alien space YouTube prank, bro. What are you doing? But obviously we can't understand them, so we don't understand that it's just a prank on their world.
Because I just for the record, I don't think that aliens have been crash landing, but just for the
Oh yeah, explain funky.
he's Belgian.
Oh
yeah,
same thing.
We
pretty
made
much.
friends, motherfucker, and then was like, yeah, no, we don't
Ugh.
want the credit for that.
Yeah, dude. I
You
would
can-
Oh,
agree.
so you
you
did
can,
that? That was
Yeah.
all
That's
you?
more proving his
Yeah.
point.
Disgusting.
Charles the Great is from
Not so great.
Clearly not that great if he made France.
Pretty much.
I mean, I'm not arguing.
No, anyway, I just think that, let's say, for example, aliens had been here. What's to say that they didn't just, like, these things that we keep finding as just probes that are failed attempts, that they, like, because you always hear about Earth being essentially space Australia, and that we have such like a ridiculously
that it
harsh
doesn't exist.
environment.
We've got a death world that's got all this weird.
And we are as a species ridiculously like tenacious, and highly adaptable to it, making us
there's a new class.
making us kind of like freaks to the space world. So what's to say that?
Yeah, but you would.
What's to say that these probes, yes, they are space flight worthy and they can survive in their atmosphere, but as soon as they enter our atmosphere, it's just like they can't handle it. Whatever it's made out of, it's just too flimsy or whatever, and it just gets fucked up.
Fair enough, but I'll bring a counter to your point. We can do that already with satellites. We can kind of go, no, that's not a planet we want to go to. We found out the gravity and this through where it is in the solar system and what level of toxicity and everything it has. So we wouldn't want to go there. Oh, this one might be habitable. Stuff like that. We don't even need to send probes.
Yeah, but you can't get detailed surface readings.
Yeah, it's not so much that we can do it. We can look at like its distance from its sun and go, okay, it's probably in a green zone. We can look at what color is it. Like if you look at the color, you can tell the elemental makeup of the atmosphere, which is how they can tell if it's toxic or not. Yeah. But even at these sort of distances, is like, but there's also like the redshift effect, which is extremely inaccurate over distances. So it may be toxic. I know, but you can get a general gist. Like, don't get me wrong, you can look at
no, I'm just saying, like, at this point in our technology, we can do that already. So, aliens that can send probes here, they should be better at that as well. That's kind of.
But what about
you would assume, but there's not like a it's not like a definite thing that they absolutely can. Just because they can get a probe here doesn't mean like they're 100% like super advanced tech. It might just be they're a little bit ahead of us, and that we're not that far off from it. We never know. It's just like one breakthrough could change everything, kind of thing,
Well, you have to also look at it this way too. It's not just about tech; it's also about the human problem. And when I say human, I just mean life in general.
Our short lifespans and things.
No, but like they can make mistakes just as easily as we can. They may be more advanced than we are, but I mean, how do we know that? How do we not know that their ship was passing by on the way home after stopping at Space Walmart, and fueling up the truck, and all of a sudden they blew a tire, and they said, "Oh, we'll stop here. It supports life. Maybe it'll be able to support us." Readings look nominal. They go through the atmosphere. They couldn't hold it. Boom! They crashed in New York. Aliens start attacking. Next Marvel movie is made.
You've literally described a character from the Hitchhiker's Guide of the Galaxy.
Well, I mean, that's what my point is. Like, it could also be a human. I say human, but you know what I mean. Intelligent life element to it. Where
we make
intelligent life makes mistakes.
Or it's just equipment failure. You never know. Like it could be literally anything.
That's why I was like, I'd give if someone came, if like a government came and said, yeah, we've got a bunch of ships. I'd say, I'd give you that you might be able to get one or two because of like a system or human error, as it were.
I'll give them like
error, but I'm not going to say, oh, they've got 50. I fucking doubt it.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not believing 50.
Well, remember again, I'm not. The post wasn't saying that they have 50, just that they had 50 sightings, but they have like 1 or 2 crashes that of technology that has been
like
retrieved.
The skeptical
So the
part
actual
of me,
crashes are like on one hand.
like the
But
skeptical
over
part of
time,
me
like
is
the last
basically
50
saying
years, 60 years, they've had like 50 sightings, supposedly, allegedly.
The skeptical side of me is basically saying, yeah, they probably don't have shit, but the hopeful side of me, like the sci-fi nerdy side of me, is definitely like wanting it to be true that there was sightings and all that kind of thing. Because obviously,
there's a lot of Go ahead.
It's like we want. I feel like the majority of people kind of want there to be a real sighting. So you kind of, even if you don't believe it, you kind of hold out that little slither of hope that it could be real, because of what that could mean for the future, kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's one of those weird things as well, because it's one of the things of currently, as far as we're aware, where they pretty much the only intelligent life in the universe that we've seen, and we should have, like the Fermi paradox says, we should have seen some, at least somewhere, but the problem is, like, once we confirm one way or the other, both are equally terrifying prospects, because either we are the only intelligent life in the universe, which means we are truly alone until we like probably make something else, which is even more terrifying, or there are other alien races out there so advanced that they can just appear completely, they can hide their entire civilization from us, and that's like even more terrifying, because how would we know where the fuck they are?
But I think for a lot of these UFO sightings, at least, a lot of them are just I don't want mirages and stuff like that, or like tricks with the camera. And I don't mean tricks like they've done it on purpose, but like this is, if you were to create an effect, here's how you do it, but it can also just occur naturally, because there's one that I saw where there's like, oh hey, look, this looks like a UFO, and then somebody just came along, oh no, this is, sometimes you get this if the sun is right and your camera is at that angle and there's another ship like it, you can kind of see as if it's shining through, so kind of making it relatively transparent and kind of deform it on the horizon, and that's literally what happened there. And that's like one of them that got instantly debunked, that the Pentagon, I think, that's releasing it. I mean, they probably knew as well, but it wasn't like, oh, let's add this one in anyway. That's a sighting we had, and it still counts, and we're assuming it's that, but we haven't been able to confirm it. So I think a whole bunch of that is probably just like camera stuff and all of that.
I bet will be, especially from a few, like several decades ago, maybe not as much past decade or two, but from years ago, that'd just be like spy planes from other nations. That's it.
Even the stealth plane was cited as a UFO until, and then I think it's because of that they had to release that they had a stealth plane, something like that.
That's because they've got. Obviously, you don't know if an enemy sends a stealth scout or whatever over your territory, and you don't see it, or you just see a flash of it. You don't know what the fuck that is, and some half-drunk hillbill is going to go.
Especially with drones these days.
Yeah, but like that's the whole point of the fucking the weather balloon, like the quotations weather balloon that China had over US, where they shot it down. It was originally thought, oh, it's a UFO, and then when it's a weather balloon like it's a spy balloon from China.
It's also why they
like, no, it's not. But there's also now there is actually a thing in like the UN enforced a while ago where you don't have to do it in public, but if one of your spy planes gets taken down and the public think it's a UFO, you have to tell the other government that it was a spy plane and it's not a UFO, like so that we, the world, at least the world leaders know whether or not they may be aliens. So that's kind of the thing of. So there is also that, especially with, like I said, it's not always. And so they can either cover it up as, oh, it's just a spy from China or whatever, but because they don't want the public knowing about aliens when they first turn up, because everyone's going to go insane.
It's also why
regardless.
they renamed. I don't know what they renamed it to, but as we call it, UFOs, it was literally just like a. We all know what it means, but I'll just say it anyway. Unidentified flying object. So that weather balloon was legit a
UFO.
UFO. It's just not. When you say it's a UFO, people start thinking sci-fi, but no, it was literally a UFO at that time, and then they find out. Yeah.
It's just I don't know what the fuck that is, and it's flying.
Yeah.
It's in the air. I'm not sure what it is. Yep, UFO.
Mm.
Bang on.
Yeah. That's why like I said, I don't remember what they kind of the quote unquote aliens have gotten. Stuff has gotten a. I think it's E something, but I like I said, I don't remember.
Mhm.
Extraterrestrial piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. They did rename it, reclassify it.
Extraterrestrial sighting or something like that.
Yeah, ESB.
That
or
is
something.
kind of the one where it's like, yeah, this might be something. This is something we don't know what it is, and it's
Yeah, we
not
need to look into.
yeah. And everything we've looked into doesn't confirm that it's a spy plane or anything like that. So it goes on the we really don't know what the fuck it is at the moment list.
I do like because I listen to those humanity fuck yeah posts,
Yeah.
which a lot of them are like how humanity joins the galactic community, and it always goes fucking poorly for them
Yeah.
because we are always considered a death welder. But like, there's ones where that sort of address the fact that we've never seen aliens in the real world, and our entire premise of what constitutes life is wrong. Like we
Yeah.
are the exception of okay, we're looking for carbon-based, oxygen-breathing life forms that need water to survive, and it's like, well, it's possible that we are the exception, like one of the exceptions to the rule.
Yeah.
So that works on this planet because
Yeah.
our planet is 2/3 fucking water.
And odds are
But-
aliens that we're gonna find is microbial.
Yeah, I mean, we have found microbial life, but it's always been in the local star sector.
Yeah.
Obviously, because we can't really scan anything beyond that. But like it could just be, hey, what if it's life doesn't need one or any of those things as a general rule, and we're the weirdos, like I'm saying, it's
just like at the
well,
deep
we're
sea.
the weirdos.
What's in the deep
Yeah.
sea?
Yeah, like that's one of the arguments of there's shit that doesn't need that even on our planet.
Yeah, we are the anomaly that somehow managed to survive on a death world, whereas every other life, or at least 99% of life that we encounter, will be life that managed to evolve on a pretty much serene world where the conditions were perfect, and they are a completely different makeup to
or
us.
as they call it, Paradise City.
Like, yeah, like they're a completely different makeup, and that is like the norm. Whereas we are carbon-based life form because that is basically the only thing that could have ever survived on this absolute hell world that we live on.
And then the other one that I've seen, it's less often, but it's fun, is like our sector of space. The laws of physics are just different. Full stop.
Yeah.
So like,
yeah.
we do have a thing of there's voids when we look at the galactic webs. There's voids, and we have no idea what's in them, and we just can't tell. And this goes into those void is actually the universe, and the web is basically they see it as like a black area that is just completely void, and it's just the laws of physics just are different in those two sections.
Theory. There is also a theory, and I guess the best way to explain this is if you think of a fizzy drink, like you have all the actual liquid in it, but the bubbles in it, each one of those is kind of like its own big bang that created that section of the universe, and that is its own universe within it, and all of the rest is kind of like you said, a void in between it, but all of those are kind of their own universe, not multiverse, but just like, there's a big bang there's a big bang here, there's a big bang there,
it has its own rules that it's so its own makeup, and
it evolved in its own kind of way.
Yeah.
And some might be the same as us or relatively the same as us, but it's just like there could be a planet that has the same conditions as us and everything like that, and kind of the same sun and everything like that, same amount of time, and life would still look different there than on here, just because evolution.
Yeah.
And that's one of the theories. Because multiverse, I'm kind of like, nah.
It's it's one of those things. It's debatable, but in theory possible. But there's not really any way to prove it.
It's a cool
There
idea.
isn't, because it's based on quantum theory. That's why it's not provable. We can't
can't go one way or the other for a very long time.
It's such a that's like at the forefront of our current insight for things like that is the quantum theory and things like that. We have only just scraped the surface of trying to figure that shit out.
Yeah.
So multiverses could be possible, but we right now have absolutely no idea if it is or not.
I'm just saying, if I had to bet, I would guess no.
I would guess no as well, but as any true follower of science would say, like it's a belief, it's a theory until it's not.
Exactly.
Until the new leading theory takes over. So you've got to always leave that little bit of in the back of your mind, I don't think it's right, but it could be.
I just think it's a really cool sci-fi thing if they do it right and everything like that, but it's just like real life. No,
but
I don't think so.
Black holes are like a fucking weird anomaly as well, so they could create
white holes are as well.
like that. Yeah,
which are
What'd you
actually
call
a
me?
thing. No, there's actual white holes as well.
Yeah.
Again,
the
what
interesting,
did you call me?
the interesting about my layman brain has a theory about it, but the fact that black holes actually do release atoms is also very interesting, because that is I kind of
sort of, but yes, but
at a very very slow rate, but I kind of feel like they're
Newton, not Newton, fucking thingy radiation. Hawking radiation.
Hawking radiation,
yeah. I kind of feel like they might be the kind of engines, like kind of like a fountain, but everything gets destroyed and then the fountain spews it out again, and because it's atoms and all of that, it kind of recreates life eventually.
That's not how that works.
Isn't that a small, really small, basic, the smallest atom possible?
Hawking radiation works is constantly around you. There are, because energy and matter is constantly interchangeable. Energy becomes matter, matter becomes energy, and it's constantly happening everywhere.
Yep.
But the way it works is it'll create matter and antimatter at the same time. They'll basically fly out and get attracted back to each other and disappear again back into energy. But as they fly out, if they happen to appear near a black hole, one of them will fuck off into the black hole, and then there's nothing to cancel out its partner particle. So that then just fucks off into the universe. So that's how that Hawking radiation works. Actual things that get sucked into a black hole, that's just gone. As far as we know, that's just gone. That's in the black hole now, and it's stuck there until the black hole dies. And even then, that's going to take forever, literally.
Billions and billions and billions, trillions of years.
They're basically described as the universe is shredders. They shred everything. Everything still exists, but it's in the shredders bin, and it slowly decays away.
Have you seen that video that basically went through, what the universe would be theoretically become, and it's basically just like black holes everywhere, and it just
everything gets eaten eventually, and then the black
goes through it's like 80 trillion billion years in the future. It's like the last black hole finally dies essentially, and then it's nothing but nothing.
Yeah. This is exactly the theory why we were against immortality.
Yeah.
I thought and some energy matter. Yeah, it's.
I think they do kick out gamma radiation,
something.
But all of the actual energy, but any matter that gets pulled in is just there for good.
Yeah, it's been ages since I've because it was just I think a 5-minute thing in a hour and a half documentary, and I think I watched it maybe 2012. And everything I'm looking up is super sciencey that I don't have the knowledge for. It's I'll just take your word for it as well.
There was a Morgan Freeman show that I remember watching about 12 years ago. It came out about 2010ish, and it was just.
I think mine was Brian Cox.
Oh yeah, Brian Cox and Dara Breen and shit.
Yeah.
There's them, and then Morgan Freeman did one about
yeah.
about the cosmic
Yeah,
shit.
the universe or something like yeah.
Yeah,
That was a good one as well. It was around it was around the
yeah,
time
it was,
where those were things. So even heck, maybe the theory even changed, or at least the knowledge about it even changed by then. But that's how I understood it. But like I said, with my very limited knowledge in those things, and layman at best compared to the professionals.
Huge. When they eat, they do kick out huge amounts of gamma radiation, because that's how we detect them. Is either we can see them eating because all the matter glows stupid hot, which is basically why the center of galaxies are really bright, or we can see massive amounts of gamma radiation being pumped out at either end of it. Which is how we spot usually rogue ones after they've eaten a star.
Yeah.
Fat bastards.
Yeah. Damn it. They are always
all the mass of that star is going straight to that black hole's ass.
Yeah.
Yep.
Big hole. It's always fascinating.
Yeah, I love that sort of.
I always wanted a telescope as well, but there's no point in when I live in the city.
Oh, that's perfectly when you need one. That's the perfect time, my friend.
Well, over here it's like, hey, do you want to look inside like big factories or like some dude always coughing and keeping up until 1 in the morning?
Or bedroom windows,
no
as
thanks.
Koshi would.
I don't kink shame. Whatever you want.
You do kink shame.
Well, only if that's your kink, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll shame.
exactly. Yeah.
Anyway.
Also, Zion.
Hello.
Koshi didn't believe you were a furry yesterday. No, I'm kidding. we were we were watching a what was the you posted it as well, the MMO Stardew Valley thing. Was it Palia or something like that?
Yeah.
What was it?
Failure.
Yeah.
Failure.
Like you posted didn't you post videos about that?
Fucking, I don't know, maybe.
Okay, well, never mind then, because like, oh, what's your interest in it? What's your interest in it? But if you don't even remember that,
if I can remember if I'll see it and I remember it, I'll do it. But
it's a game
Because
by
we were
the
talking
it's a
about
game
it
by the
yesterday.
ex Blizzard devs that split off to make their own. And it's basically a third person Stardew Valley type ish game where you have little communities, you build a house and you go out and forage things and fish, and it's a cozy game. But you play it with friends.
Ooh, 2 Point Campus is on sale.
The joke is that I said something about you being a fairy, and and Koshi thought I said fairy. So he thought I was like referring to you as some sort of fey creature, and it just went off on this like whole like argument that made no sense.
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
And we did establish that if one of us was a furry, that you would probably be the most likely one.
Yeah.
I'm not a furry, but
but cat girls.
That's usually my argument, to be honest.
Yeah. It's like the I don't remember which comedian, but it's like, oh, I've been 100% straight so far.
Yeah.
Who knows? I might find the man of my dreams tomorrow. Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Anyway,
Zion isn't a furry, but sometimes horny.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is like the perfect image to go with that argument of one of the mangas. It's not bad. It's just that's what's happened in one of the things I've been reading.
Where?
That's a bee. She became a queen bee and turned into that, and it was like, okay.
What the fuck?
So that's the waifu of this manhwa, is it? Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
What's the picture you posted the first? What's this first one?
The one with orange and black one. That's the black hole Chan. Do you not remember that? Remember when they found that really big black hole?
Yeah,
It's like the image in the background.
Yeah.
It literally took the internet like less than a week to turn it into an anime girl. Because NASA were doing an interview. I think one of like the lead researchers who discovered it said was doing something, but they were getting like notifications on their phone because they were still doing research and stuff on it. And then they just stopped mid-interview and just stopped talking like mid-sentence, and they went, "Is everything okay?" And they went, "Yeah." And I just saw something that's happened. It's like 3 days after the thing, and I went, "What?" And then they just held it up to the camera, and it's like the fucking anime girl of the black hole, and she's like half naked and something. It's like, yeah, it's just the internet doing the internet.
Yeah, the internet did its thing.
Yeah,
it took its natural course.
Yeah.
Always right. Always
I
right.
don't remember
with the world.
what. Yeah.
Maybe that's why the aliens don't want to come because they'll know what's going to happen as soon as they get here.
I remember one being like, I think it was around the time. I don't remember the name of the ship, but the one that got stuck in the canal, the Suez Canal.
The Evergreen.
Yeah,
there was a waifu of that as well. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I was like, well, I didn't ask for this, but at least it's out there for people that like it. All right.
Rule 34, boys. Rule 34.
Yeah.
That boat. What are you doing?
The funniest thing about that whole thing was like, then they finally got it out, and then like literally the next boat got stuck again.
Yeah.
God damn it, you idiots! How hard can this be? All right, I guess.
Just go. It's a straight canal. Just don't turn around.
Yeah. Don't you? This isn't Tokyo Drift, guys.
Suez Drift.
Yeah.
Why is
that was a fun arc.
Why is Earth-chan being mean? Don't fat shame Black Hole. That's just cool.
Earth-chan's supposed to be the nice one.
Yeah. Also, I've posted it, but just so you remember, make sure to log into your Ubisoft account in case you don't want your account deleted if you've been inactive for 4 years.
Yeah. I think I played earlier this year, so it's fine.
Yeah, I logged in. My other account, I think, might be deleted, but there's a reason why it's my other account that I didn't even remember having it. So it's probably one that I linked up with like my old Xbox thing or something like that, and then once I had PlayStation and a PC again, I kind of made a new account because I was like, wait, what? What fucking account are you talking about? Anyway, I'm gonna go to the bathroom right now, and I'm assuming we might be wrapping up.
Yeah,
so
we're wrapping up now. So
I'll see you next week, and I'm gonna go pee. Bye.
So yeah, that'll be the end of it for this week. Thank you for listening, everyone. Sure, it was a riot with our whole last half hour there just being a complete tangent on random sci-fi shit. But hey, it's just how it goes. So yeah, say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, fucking asshole. Peace out, nerds. We'll see you next week.